Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Ivona. Welcome to my channel, Rose Healing Light. This will be a pick a card reading with spiritual guidance for the full moon in Scorpio, full moon, and this will be full moon and lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is just coming up, and it is happening on Friday, the 5th of May, 2023. And this, yeah, so as I said, this is a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio at 14, I think it's at 14 degrees and 58 minutes, so it's almost 15 degrees. What I wanted to say, so this reading is going to be predominantly for the just to help you perhaps understand and navigate energies of the full moon. And they will be present, I mean, first of all, for the next perhaps 2 weeks or even more than 2 weeks. But remember that because this is also a lunar eclipse, so perhaps anything that you hear from the guidance or anything that comes up in your life may perhaps start the process, or maybe a bit like a bit of a process for the next 6 months. All right, I think, yeah, and I wanted, so I've got, as always, because I work with angels and archangels when I do the reading, so I've got already Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael with us, and I've already asked them, yes, to send us protection and blessings as well, so that we can have a, yeah, just good time on the reading. All right, so we will start with, so I've got 3 cards for you, but it's a pick a card, right? So we've got card 1, 2, and 3, and I actually picked a crystal associated with the cards. So maybe if you want to take a moment, just bring your hands to your heart center, and you can just take a couple of deep breaths. This will help you connect with your heart and with your intuition, and just see whichever card you are drawn to, right? You may be drawn to more than one card, or sometimes after watching the first card perhaps, right, then you may be actually drawn to watch also, I don't know, the second card, right? So for example, card 1 and then card 3. So just be aware of it, because there may be more than one message for you. All right, so if you are, so the first card, this is the first card, and this comes with the beautiful stone crystal called pink howlite. So if you are drawn to either pink howlite plus or just card number 1, so that's for you. Now this will be card number 2, and card number 2 comes with a beautiful stone, hope you can see it, guys, sorry, for the called malachite. So if you are drawn to card number 2, this one is for you. And then this will be card number 3, and card number 3 comes with a beautiful tiger's eye crystal. So card number 3. All right, so I will just, so this is just the introduction, and I will see you in a moment in one of those readings. Hello, card number 1 or pile number 1. So, and if you've chosen card number 1, you would also have chosen a beautiful crystal called pink howlite, and the card that is for you, and it's also a theme, I see it a little bit as a theme for the lunar eclipse and the full moon in Scorpio. It's called Great Gathering, and it says it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So, and before so this is, so I would straight away say that that's about you coming together with other people, and also you finding a soul tribe, so a group perhaps that I would say that suits you, but serves you also from the soul's perspective. And in a moment maybe I'll say more, but and pink howlite, what I want to also say, and because I've got more cards for you, it speaks to you to remember always about self-love and to love yourself first. And I think it also brings a bit like an energy of love, I would say, and it could also be romantic love. There is some small indication that maybe romance will be some aspect that will resurface or surface during the eclipse season. in different ways, but I still want to say that the message is love yourself first, right? And remember that self-love is perhaps the most important, let's say, theme, and I would say even a thing or something, yeah, a theme for you for even the next 6 months. All right. Um, and just coming back to the card, so the Great Gathering as a theme for the for the full moon and lunar eclipse. Um, it actually, this card specify and talks a lot about finding your tribe, right? Finding people who you truly connect with, and you connect with them, let's say at a deeper level, right? You can connect with them kind of through the heart as well. So this is like a deeper connection, right, where our souls are connected, and I would say you can even feel it, right? So we are all born into a body, but yeah, but you can obviously feel it, and then you can communicate with them at the right level. Um, yeah, and similar obviously qualities come up with this kind of groups. I wanted to say that for those of you who perhaps have been going through some changes and transformation, it may be just the right time to step up and maybe even leave, okay, the moment, and perhaps to try to step out of maybe your comfort zone and try to find a new group of people that you perhaps resonate with now, right? So I feel like many of you may have raised your vibration already. May have risen your vibration, sorry, over the past, I don't know, months or years even. And it may be the time for you. I think the message is it may be for most of you the time for you simply to look out and look for the new group, perhaps even a new community, maybe a circle of friends who you fully resonate with, right? Or at least you resonate with them at a much deeper level, right? And yeah, and I feel like they will also be helping you. At the same time, I would say that everything is because this card says that it's coming together. So for those of you who have already thought about it or maybe have been trying but it didn't, like it wasn't working out, like something is in the works, I would say, right? So I don't know, maybe it will not resurface straight away in Scorpio. For some of you it will, I think so, but the manifestation of it, but you are encouraged, and it does say that it's coming together and it's in the works. So perhaps I would say in the next 6 months, or even I feel like in the next 3 months, I would expect that you may be guided to the right places and perhaps start meeting people with whom you truly want to, I would say, reconnect with and connect at the deeper level. All right. And I've got 3 angel tarot cards for you as well with the 3 clarifiers. They're from Energy Oracle deck. And yeah, and this is more, so I feel like these energies are kind of present moment. I mean, they're kind of present moment energies, but they give you guidance, right, for the next little while, I would say. And you do have a couple of, so you've got 2 court cards, so they represent people, right? So perhaps so this is in line with your theme card. And you've got Queen of Air, and the Queen of Air comes actually with Archangel, with the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. So 4th chakra is the heart chakra, but this one is in reversal. I would just say, so Queen of Air, I think with this, I feel like Archangel Raphael is with us, and he's saying that you need to continue to heal your heart, right? So you need to continue with your healing. As a message for you, and remember that perhaps not everything can come together straight away, right? So we've spoken about meeting new people perhaps, and maybe about maybe this is like a step forward for you, but Archangel Raphael is reminding you that you need to continue to take care of yourself and continue to heal your wounds, right? And I believe that some of you may have already been doing this for a while, so maybe that's a little bit lighter for you. Some of you may be stepping into perhaps like a bit of a deeper, I would say, deeper transformation and deeper healing. But you are still reminded that you may continue to meet new people. You may meet people also who are a little bit transitional for you. Yeah, and you will need to continue to heal, right? They may also bring something with them, and it can be positive or let's say negative, right? So some patterns that will help you heal your heart, or continue healing your heart. And the Queen of Air, so I wanted to say with this card, because I didn't start with this, it's Queen of Air, I feel like it relates to you guys. And I don't know, I have Scorpio, so I didn't, because sometimes I think for the new moons, I'll be posting like a reading per zodiac sign, right? And here I felt guided that I can give you perhaps what I'm like, which are signs, zodiac signs, which kind of relate to this reading as well. But it doesn't have to be like that, right? But maybe you can relate to them. So actually, what I feel like Scorpio comes in strongly. So this is for, and again, it can be Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or anything else like your Venus. I think Queen of Air, first of all, it comes as Aquarius and also Libra card, right? And it can also be Gemini because these are all air signs. Um, but in this case, I feel like it relates to you and perhaps your quality that you can see clearly, I wanted to say, and you have clarity of the mind. But again, with the heart chakra and heart center being illuminated, I think Archangel Raphael is asking you to continue to balance. You need to continue to balance your mind and your heart, right? And I wanted to say that, for example, because air signs, like if you're a Libra, for example, or a Gemini, you can be very sharp, or even Aquarius, you can be very sharp sometimes in your mind, right? And maybe you may think that you see clearly, but the feeling, so the heart is a lot about you feeling your way through something, and the feelings are very important for you as well, right? So perhaps you need to remember that while you may think that you have the clarity, but you are being asked to actually bring more attention to your feelings and also listen to your heart, sorry, and heart center. But with this, you perhaps need to do a bit of practice like meditation, or even just be in the moment, right? As I showed you at the beginning, you can just breathe with your heart center. So listening to your heart, but also listening to your feelings and emotions is going to help you to balance something which may not be perhaps fully clear, or it may not be as you think it is at the moment, right? And perhaps at the same time, you may want to listen to others or other people for their advice or their opinion, and then try to balance this out and feel your way through this as well. All right. The second card, yeah, these energies do feel like they're very much present moment energies, but I think that there's a bit of a lesson, right? Or listen to them, and I think these messages may serve you for perhaps the next little while, which maybe makes the next 3 or 6 months even, right? Because of the eclipse, right? You've got the Knight of Earth. So this is Knight of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. And it also represents perhaps a person. I think in this way, I feel like it's a person in your life. Okay, in terms of zodiac signs, Taurus comes in first. But it could also be, when I name zodiac signs, it can be that this whole reading could be for Taurian people. Yeah, and then Virgo comes in second, perhaps, so there's a bit less energy, right? And Capricorn, but okay, they're just telling me to give you, so this is all earth signs, right? Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, but Taurus comes in as the strongest in this card. And then you actually have, and you've got a card which is called Magician and the Mirror, but this card comes in reversed. And I wanted to say, I feel like don't worry about that. There's nothing wrong with this, or nothing to be afraid of, I would say. I think it just brings your attention to something. So while there's someone in your life who, all right, so someone who is a bit of a mirror. So this is Magician and the Mirror, right? So someone who perhaps is trying to help you, but I feel like the mirror, so that's why this card is reversed, just to bring, let's say, your attention into something, right? Something that maybe you haven't seen before, or you haven't fully worked, let's say, with or worked out before in yourself. And that's why the mirror, right, aspect of it. So there's someone in your life, and could be anyone really, right? The Knight could be a friend. This card can actually, yeah, it could be someone who is helping you perhaps with your finances as well, because it's Knight of Earth, but it could be anyone who simply is in your life, right? The Knight means that maybe this person doesn't have a high significance, and I wouldn't say that it's a family member either, but it can be like, for example, a brother or a cousin, right? But this person somehow, so they're there with you, and I wouldn't say that they're not positive or negative, but they are kind of illuminating some shadows towards you, right? So you are having some interactions with them. And I think that part of it is positive, and I think they're trying to help you in a certain way, but they may have a different understanding. You see, we talked about the Queen of Air, right? Maybe of the world, or slightly different understanding of how they do things, perhaps, and how you do things than you, perhaps, right? And with the Magician in the Mirror, so this is, so one thing is that they illuminate some shadows towards you, and you're being asked to just step back a little bit and just work with it. So try to ask yourself, what is this person showing me about myself, right? So a bit of inner work. But the Magician is telling you here that you have the power, right? And you also have all the skills to kind of, let's say, deal with the situation. Or if the situation reminds you something from the past, which actually we do have a 6 of Water card, which is a lot about past patterns. So if the situation reminds you of something from the past that you have already been working with, So I think this is a reassurance that this is a lighter situation. It's, I would say it's better or more positive, but also you are being asked to continue, yeah, to work with this on a shadow level or as a mirror, and perhaps ask yourself, so you've got all it takes. You've got the magician power. So you've got the power, you know how to, like, you've got perhaps some tools that can help you, right? Like maybe you're listening to tarot readings, I don't know, maybe you do some healing work, meditation, right? So all these tools are available to you, and you are being asked to just listen to use those tools and kind of learn with this person, right? So I would say it's just like, it's just as it is, right? I wouldn't say like this, like it's a relationship, but I think it's helping you grow, I would say, right? And then you will be able perhaps at some point to, you will be able perhaps to make a decision also how you want to take your relationship forward. But I feel like this will only come kind of some time in the future, and it might even be in the next perhaps 5-6 months. This is how I feel. And actually this may be because you've got the last card, which is Six of Water, guys, and also Door to Romance, right? So these are your last cards, which are also a little bit towards the future. And I wanted to say that this could also represent, okay, no, it's clearer, a romantic partner, or perhaps someone that maybe you feel attracted to a little bit, but you are not together because maybe they're with someone else. Maybe you have had also your own, let's say, issues, right? But I wanted to say, yeah, but just I wanted to say that this person is, I would say, fairly positive, but just work with them. I would say work with them and continue. They will help you to heal your heart. Not necessarily that maybe they will help you because they will give you something, but they'll help you see something more clearly, right? And then by working with yourself and perhaps rethinking something, right, like reevaluating with Queen of Air, right, you'll be able perhaps to come up to continue to work with this person. And maybe if this person is the romantic partner, there is some perhaps future there, or maybe you'll be able to make some different decisions in the future about what you would like with that person. Maybe you just want friendship, maybe you do want to try a romantic relationship. But I feel like this decision is going to come a little bit later, right? After I would say after some healing has, let's say, occurred, right? So, and has taken place. So, and you need to work with that. Remember that. That's why you've got the Magician card. You are in your power, and you are being asked to take charge for yourself and also in this situation. Yeah, and I think so. So in the future, you've got the Six of Water and the Door to Romance. So the Six of Water, the first thing is that you will be perhaps reconnecting with someone from the past as well, or someone that you had known in the past. Could be perhaps some change in this, if this is perhaps someone that you want to get to know better. So either a romantic partner or perhaps a friend or someone else in your life, but he may come back like closer to you. So I feel like one aspect of it is that someone is coming kind of back to you, or someone is coming closer to you or to your life, someone that either you had known in the past. So I think this person may even already be present now, but this is a future card. So I think that in the next few months, something is coming together a little bit, right? And we had the card, the Great Gathering. So I feel like, and remember that, and yeah, so this person could be part of also you finding your tribe, or finding perhaps new level of friendships, I would say, or new friends, right? Yeah, and so there'll be an aspect of you reconnecting with them. Door to Romance does say that there is possibility of a romance, right? Or perhaps starting a relationship, as I said. I think at the same time, I also want to say that this represents patterns from the past. And we've just spoken that this person is helping you heal, but on a level, like, take it from a higher perspective, right? So this person is perhaps illuminating something for you, or the way they are, right? Acting, they're just, yeah, showing you something that you know that it is inside of you, right? And I feel like many of you have perhaps gone and come to that concept already, right? That people illuminate our own shadows. If you didn't, then it's perhaps a message for you also that yes, people can do illuminate our own shadows. And very often, yeah, and this is when you are being asked to do your own inner work before perhaps you step forward or make any decisions, even in this situation and with this person, right? Yeah, so I think one aspect is that you perhaps will continue or will start to reconnect with them at a different level, perhaps, maybe at a closer level with them. The second message is to continue to be aware of that there may be some past patterns coming up. I think it's quite normal, especially for you guys, if you've been on a, let's say, ascension journey for the past few years. Maybe months, not because you wouldn't know it, but years, and you've been healing or trying meditations and various styles, you will know that patterns simply come up and they need to be healed, transformed, and released. And then you either continue with the same person, it depends who they are, or you simply have to leave, let's say, a relationship and move to anyone. But right? But here, I think that that's perhaps still with the same person or reconnecting with also other people. It actually, it's an encouragement, I feel, and a positive sign to the fact that you may meet some new people and or maybe even a new community, right? Or maybe this can also represent something smaller. I don't think that it's a bit something like a phase. Maybe you'll find a great Facebook group on a subject and you will feel really great with them, right? To interact, or any other group, perhaps like through social media as well, right? Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, so I think the reconnecting, and also by, perhaps, but paying attention, the door to romance can either mean either mean romantic partner, or I would say also it may mean that this is like connecting like through your heart with people. So remembering that the love is important, and I mean love in a general aspect, right? Not only romantic, but like you can love your friend, right? You can even meet people and be with a community, but you may feel love from that community, right? Which is, let's say, sorry, given and received, I would say, right? So love on an aspect, also unconditional love, but I would say just a general feeling that you receive perhaps, or you give to someone, right? And I think that's also important for you. That's why we've got the pink highlight for you guys, which is about love, and just remembering that you are not only your mind, but you are the heart, right? And you want to kind of you want to live your life, I would say, more from your heart rather than, let's say, from the mind only, right? And of course it's all about the balance. All right. And I will take, so I think this is it really, guys. And let me just I'll take one more card for you. This is from actually a different oracle. It's called Energy and Spirit Oracle, but I will just take one more card for pile one, just as an advice card, I would say, or perhaps some suggestion, right? Maybe not the outcome. Yeah. It's called, so we've got number 37, Creation. And it does say actually soul expression and something new. Yeah, so you are creating, so I would say, through while going through the process, and there is with Scorpio, perhaps there's always a process of transformation, perhaps process of death, but I mean by death, I mean like that, like, let's say, releasing old patterns, or maybe releasing some old emotions, old stuff, right? And just working with it. But I feel like the creation is highlighted here just to let you know that also be creative, right? Remember that you can create at any moment in time. Perhaps use creation to rise, like to help yourself, to help yourself raise your vibration, right? Or raise your mood, for example, if you felt low for a month, or you have low, you've experienced, let's say, difficult emotions, right? So try to find, and because there's a lot of yellow, and I see yellow is solar plexus chakra, yes, but it's also a lot about like finding joy wherever you can find the joy, right? It's like the positivity, joyfulness, I would say, or like being joyful, or trying to find it. And so creation, perhaps, I don't know, do some arts, right? Or maybe, anyway, anything that can be very simple, but perhaps helps you, yeah, like helps you, let's say, be more joyful, or connect with joy, or playfulness. You know, maybe just, I don't know, go out with your dog, for example, or with the pet if you have one. Just, yeah, you will have your own ideas, right? But just remember that creation is very important for everything, and perhaps also you may be creating something new in your relationships as well, right? Yeah. So coming from the heart and just trying to look up, like, focus your mind sometimes on positivity and the joy, and then you will, yeah, you'll be fine. I would say, and you'll be balanced as well. All right. Okay, my beautiful pile one, card one people. Yeah, I think this is it for the lunar eclipse. So thank you for watching the video, and I hope you find it useful and helpful. Yeah, please do subscribe or hit the like button if you like the video, and I hope to see you soon in on my future videos. Take care. Bye. Hello, card number two, or pile number two. So if you've chosen card number two, you have got a card which says dance with life, and it does say do something to change your energy. And this also comes with a beautiful crystal, perhaps I can show you this way, a green crystal called malachite. Before I speak about the card, I will just give you a short message. So malachite is a stone of healing, healing of the heart, and also healing of your emotions. I'm just looking at the cards. The cards do pertain to few different things, and perhaps a change in your life that may be coming. And I wanted to say that perhaps just remember to continue, either to continue with your healing, or remember that healing is actually very important for you, and it's also very important to bring yourself, let's say, back to your center, and to, yeah, bring yourself back to balance, I would say, right? So yeah, malachite, and perhaps releasing and working with your emotions, I would say. And now we can move to sorry guys, I actually had a bit of, we can move to your theme for the lunar eclipse, right, and the full moon, but I had a bit of a actually difficulty like with starting the video. It wasn't the same as with pile one or card one. So I think, yeah, you're probably going through a change. We do have a card called release. So this is the death card in traditional tarot. Yeah, so perhaps the energy is perhaps not where it's supposed to be, right? So maybe you are kind of coming into alignment, right? But I would say there's quite a bit of transformation coming up for you guys. But the dance with life, I think this card is just also reminding you perhaps that whenever yeah, you get stuck, so it's all about moving your own energy, or remembering that the energy like is always on the go, right? Like everything is changing constantly in a certain way. Our thoughts are changing. I want to say our emotions and feelings are changing, and also the situations, or a situation is going to change, right? If you felt stuck, or if you are stuck with something, uh, and I wanted to encourage you first to do your inner work, right? So if you can't move something on the outside, so if you're stuck with someone or something in a situation, and you, yeah, you perhaps can't move it, or you kind of reach like a gridlock situation, I would suggest to move your energy first, right? Do some inner work, do perhaps some healing work, but also move your energy if you feel stuck inside of you, right? Move your energy. I don't know, the card suggests a dance, so dance with life. You can just I don't know, even dance in your room, right? Or dance in your home, or just go out. I would say also go out and go for a walk, right? Do something also that maybe you wouldn't usually do as well, just to get yourself, I would say, unstuck as well, right? So just, yeah, just a reminder, either if you feel stuck, just do something to move your energy and perhaps come back to balance, and then it will refresh your mind, right? It will also refresh your intuition and your intuitive hits or insights, right? Yeah, and the same, if you are stuck with the outside situation, I would say do your inner work first as well, right? Do your inner work, move your energy, raise your vibration, right? Raise your vibration, and then this will allow you, yeah, it will bring you clarity, will allow you to move through the situation, I would say, with maybe more swiftly, I would say, right? Or with more ease, right? Okay. And then I've got I've got three cards for you. These are three angel cards. We've got actually four for you guys, and we've got three clarifiers from energy. Yes, it's called Energy Oracle deck. Um, and as with the previous pile, and I may also mention if I, to be honest, if I am drawn to, because I don't do so. This is not per zodiac sign, but I may mention that there are some perhaps zodiac signs which may come strongly to me, and yeah, again, so you may reference this as your sun sign, moon sign, your ascendant sign, but just, I would say, go also intuitively, right? If you've chosen pile number 2, intuitively the message is for you. With the release card, so this is the death card in traditional tarot. In the traditional tarot, sorry. Yeah, and I feel actually a scorpionic energy here. We are going through a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a lot about death, rebirth, transformation, releasing old stuff, also sometimes a bigger change in life. So Scorpio can bring like a bigger, deeper change. And I wanted to say that you are, guys, so if you've chosen pile 2, you are about to experience some perhaps bigger shift in your life, right? Some of you may have already been expecting it, actually. Okay, so for some of you, you probably would have expected it already, or maybe you've been working towards it, but it will come unexpected, I feel. So there's Uranus energy, probably also with the planetary alignment. Yeah, so there's some bigger shift, perhaps a bigger change in your life. I would say don't worry. There's nothing to be, let's say, scared about, or nothing to be afraid. Some of you have already expected it, some of you have worked towards it as well, but it will come unexpectedly, I would say, right? And again, don't be afraid of that. I would say so. Surprises perhaps are also on the way, and maybe that's why. But you do have, so this is clarified by the journey card, and the journey is just a reminder that, just remember that life is a journey, and everything is a journey in a certain way. So if you are going through a healing process, healing is also a journey. Healing is a process, right? You just don't I would say you just don't complete today and then tomorrow you are fine, right? It's kind of like you keep returning to certain points, right? And it's the same with life. And I would say enjoy the journey, right? Enjoy the ride, maybe maybe like in a more positive way, right? But I would say, so if anything happens that isn't so comfortable, or you need to continue with your transformation, then trust it. Trust the moment. Trust yourself. We've got High Priestess, so trust your highest guidance, or your higher guidance, right? And remember that life is all that there is. Sometimes like life is a journey, and sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, right? And you will move through it. I feel like you will move through it. I feel swiftly. This is the word that comes in, right? Yeah, yeah. So there's nothing to worry about. All right. And you also have a beautiful, you have actually a new beginning. So Ace of Earth is a card that represents a new beginning or a new start. The earth element is obviously it comes nature, so it's perhaps maybe a new way um, of you connecting with nature, or maybe connecting with animals. So let me just say this: it does feel like also that even though it's a new beginning, it's not a fresh start, but I don't think that it's kind of like a major thing. But you will notice, right? You will notice how you can bring new beginnings about a new start. um, and again, I would say that it's a bit of a process. So the release card is the major arcana, and this I would say signifies that that's a longer process, or this is something more significant happening now, but it will take you, let's say, on the path, on a journey forward, right, for the next few months at least. And with this one, I think this is just a reminder that, because this is also Earth is about manifestation, like a material manifestation, right? And I feel like there's a bit of but there's a new beginning with that, right? So continue your transformation, and the more you release, perhaps the more you transform, you'll be able to feel the freshness of things, and the freshness maybe of your ideas, and you'll be able perhaps to start to manifest differently, or maybe on a different level. Yeah, or again, you will be able to. This is. The card relating to nature, you'll be able to perhaps connect with nature in a different way. So do something for yourself that brings you, let's say, the upliftment, right, of energy, or you will discover also new ways of how you can move your own energy around, right? You can move and raise your vibrations, and yeah, and do something so that, yeah, you may kind of feel unstuck perhaps, right, in a situation. But this Ace of Earth, so but this message is, I would say, guys, very positive for you. It is with the Sun card, and the Sun card is always like a positive aspect, like a success, or something positive outcome is coming to you. Also positivity, I would say, in general with your life. So I think that you'll be able to actually to find solutions to perhaps some difficult situations from the past. You'll be able to perhaps manifest better and easier, I would say. So maybe you'll be able to also manifest solutions, like, I don't know, solutions perhaps to your finances, or something that perhaps you were stuck on for a long while, right? Or you couldn't move forward in this way. Again, maybe because you had to transform something, or you had to go through a change first, right? Yeah, so I think it's positive. And with the Sun card, definitely, there's some positive manifestation also coming to your life, guys. So that's a good thing. And then for the future, I would say you are being now reminded, because you've got the High Priestess card, and the Awakening card, right? These two cards for me, they always seem like, they always talk to me, they always talk about like they are highly spiritual, right? Yeah. And I felt, so when I looked at the High Priestess card, I also heard signs and symbols. So pay attention to signs, and they say, and symbols as well. They will be guiding you. So I feel like, so while, yeah, so this is a lot about let's say, the divine aspect of life, or the divine nature of life. Yeah, and you perhaps trusting it. So you need to trust the higher power here, I would say. Trust God, spirit, universe, however you want to call it. But also trust yourself. Trust your inner gut instinct, I would say, and trust yourself, your intuition, and perhaps pay attention to the signs. I think this is the main message, and to symbols as well, and they are going to guide you through this journey. So we've talked that there's some journey which is about transformation. You continue to make some changes, bring about some new beginnings to your life. Yeah, but continue, but include, I would say, spirit and God, and on your spirit guides in it as well. So include the spiritual aspect in it, please, right? Yeah, and it will help you. Yeah, this will help you move forward, but on a higher level of vibration, I would say, and on a, yeah, simply in a better way, I would say. And this comes actually also with the Awakening. So those two are major arcana cards. So I would say that's important for you guys, and for many of you, I think this will be an energy that you can hone in on, if that makes sense. So the energy will be very present, and you are just being reminded to kind of continue with this, right? Sorry, guys. And then the awakening card is also, so this is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot, and I wanted to say that it's kind of, so this is pausing. So for example, like, so this would be also something like spiritual practice, and the Hanged Man is perhaps either telling you that either you need to pause. So if there is a blockage or a stuckness in a situation, this also means that you need to perhaps pause yourself. You need to put something on hold in order to perhaps go inwards and go deeper, right? So perhaps you may need to go deeper into even your healing process, or maybe you need to just go deeper into your meditation and go deeper and understand how to rise up or rise above something, actually, right? So how to find, not how to find the challenge. So this is about perspective. So how to find the solution, how to find the challenge in an easier way, right? So yeah. So I would say if something gets stuck, or there is something that you can't move forward, maybe you are stuck, also remember that you are being, remember about the divine aspect of life, the spiritual aspect. Also do your meditation or go deeper inward, right? With the tools that you've been using, also to take a new perspective or to help yourself to gain new perspective on things, and then you'll be able to manifest perhaps a new solution and move forward. And I wanted to say to move forward with more ease and grace, right? This is how it comes. And this actually, okay, but these two cards, they come with community card. And I wanted to say, so this is, I think this is like a highly spiritual message I wanted to say. And this community, I think it says, it's interesting because actually the community as a theme, let's say, or as a presence of other people and groups especially, right, that you belong to, or maybe you need to change a group, actually has been coming for, I would say, for a while, because it has been coming, I know in my readings that I've done, so I would, for the new moon, right, so which was also a solar eclipse, right, so you may go back there and perhaps listen to some of them. So it feels like it's a theme in a general way, right? I've done also Reiki, just so you guys know, I've done also Reiki healing for both the new moon and solar eclipse, and also there is Reiki for the full moon. And I think in the Reiki portion, I also include like a collective general message for just to understand the energies better, right? Which are present. Community is definitely coming up. I wanted to say that there is something for you with the community, perhaps for you because of the High Priestess. Remember that the spiritual community is very important for you in your life. Perhaps the spiritual community that you perhaps already belong to is going to help you, or maybe give you ideas, or help you understand something on a better, like on a greater level, like to a greater extent, I would say, right? That's perspective, and help with an understanding something from a higher perspective. And I wanted to say that some people in the community may also help you manifest better, right? So manifest, maybe bringing some new solutions to your life, and manifesting maybe totally new, maybe not totally new things, but something that is fresh and new. So there's something totally new about this card as well. So you may be able, by attending or by being part of the community, and I think spiritual community is more important here. And it can be, and remember that this can be also virtual, right? So like online social media, Facebook group, or anything else, right, that you belong to. And these people will, just if you feel like aligned with them, then they'll be happy. They'll kind of, I would say, they'll stick out for you, or there'll be like a positive exchange of energy with them, and their ideas perhaps, or bring you something that is also valuable for you, right? And perhaps will also help you move forward. So I would say it's worth connecting with them, right? It's worth connecting, or perhaps looking for groups, like spiritual groups and communities. So that you can also help yourself, I would say. All right, guys. So, and let's just take, so this is your reading, and we'll just take one last card as an advice card for pile number 2, please. Okay, we'll put pile number 2. Okay, so you guys have this actually came reversed, but I'll show you the card. So this is your advice card. I don't know if some people are asking if this is an outcome. It can be an outcome, but so it can be an outcome. But this does mean that the outcome just shows you what's the possibility here, right, to achieve. It says Goddess of Dreams, and this says Vision, Intuition, Receptivity. But this came actually in reversal. And I feel like this straight away, because it takes me back to the High Priestess. And I feel like some of you guys need a reminder, kind of like a big reminder, that you are a spirit in a human body, right? So you are a spiritual being incarnated into a human experience, simply, right, and a human body. I wanted also to tell you that the body is your vehicle. So if anything happens to your body or within your body, then you can't ignore it, right? This also shows you that something simply is wrong, and you really need to find solution, find your healing, right? Okay, I feel the message is also remember that it's important to always raise your vibrations and to kind of, yeah, to know how to do that, right? Otherwise you will not be able perhaps to let's say, I would say, get unstuck, right? So maybe that's why we had this message about dance with life, which is a lot about just knowing how to move your energy, right? And both to resolve situations, but also how to take care of your own energy and just keep it, like, keep it in the flow, right? You want to be in the flow, I would say. Yeah, so I think this message is just a kind of, for some of you guys, like really a proper reminder, just connect, and connect also with the divine aspect of life, or the divine in any way that you can. Maybe this is a goddess aspect for some of you, right? Like, I don't know if you consider maybe archangels, like Archangel Haniel comes into me, or goddess like Mother Mary. Okay, they say, I feel like the angels are saying, I don't need to name it, but you know, if you've worked with goddesses or goddesses are around you, and connecting with any aspect, so an aspect of the divine, or I would say of the divine aspect in life, and also divine in a form, right? So divine, some ascended masters perhaps, or your spirit guides. Also, I would say try to see the divine in other, maybe in other beings, right? In other people, or in other, let's say, living beings, which could be even animals, right? Anyway, there's something about the light, and something for you to make sure that you don't get stuck, let's say, in your mind. You actually don't have, I thought you don't have the card. It was the previous pile that had the Queen of Swords, but I wanted to say, don't get stuck inside of you, or don't get stuck in your mind, and don't think that you are just so limited. You are actually not so limited, but I believe, but I feel that you have to kind of look up to something. So you have to look up to a higher power, right? And you are being reminded that, yeah, there is God, spirit, universe, or there's a divine power above you. I feel like most of you, if not all of you, already know it, right? You've been perhaps doing some of your work and meditation. Yeah, and I would just say, I don't know, it just comes very strongly for some of you that maybe you just need to keep reminding this. Yeah, and I wanted to say that sometimes when we go through some difficulties or healing, or a difficult healing or transformation, our energy sometimes gets stuck, right? We get blocked over even in our mind. Sometimes it may feel very dark for us. So if this is how it is, I would say it's a momentarily, it's a moment only, or it will pass. But these are the moments also where you are being asked to just kind of remind yourself that there is light out there, that there is divine, and I can connect with them. I can connect with the divine, with my divine nature, with my divine power, with my, yeah, and I can connect also with the higher power in the form of divine, like for example a goddess that you've been perhaps looking up to, right? Or maybe just receiving guidance from, right? Okay, so I think that's just very important, right? All right, guys, I think this is it for you for the eclipse and for the full moon in Scorpio. I hope, yeah, thank you for watching the video. I hope you find it useful and helpful. Yeah, and I hope to see you really on my future videos. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Hello, card number 3, or pile number 3. So if you've chosen card number 3, you've chosen the Warrior Woman card, and it says, have you answered your deepest calling? So that's a bit of a question for you. And it comes, so I'm going to speak to that card in a moment, but it does come with a beautiful stone, in the beautiful crystal. Let me just show it. Tiger's Eye. And just to give you a brief message with the card from, so Tiger's Eye is crystal. Okay, it's actually it's to do with manifestation. So that's what I'm hearing, a material manifestation. But it's also a stone of or a crystal of good luck and good fortune. And I feel like you guys need to believe in it, right? So there's something about belief in your, let's say, in your good luck, or perhaps your fortune turning around if something perhaps went wrong in the past, right? And I think material manifestations and perhaps some grounding will also be important. You may be starting something through the eclipse season, and also perhaps in the future as well, right? So kind of pay attention, and I think manifestation for you is important. Yeah, I actually would that sometimes I remind people, I wanted to say that if you need any support, let's say energetical support, like I've got a Reiki healing session. So I've done a Reiki healing actually for the solar eclipse, which was the new moon. And there's also a Reiki healing for the full moon, which will be in the separate video. And I feel like that's just a reminder that you can perhaps watch the video and yeah, and do the Reiki healing session for you, perhaps if you want some help with manifestation or also with healing, I would say. Yeah, perhaps we will see how the stone helps you, perhaps with the stone or the crystal, right? I do call it. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find the bed. I hope the light is okay in the video. Yeah, and the warrior. Okay, so let's come back. So this is your theme for the lunar eclipse, right? And the full moon in Scorpio. The warrior woman. I wanted to say this card actually does come up very often if there is, let's say, a fear inside of you, which actually blocks your we've talked also about your good luck kind of thing. Or some underlying fear that perhaps is inside of you or is inside of your past patterns, even your foundations that perhaps need to be released, right? So you perhaps need to work with your fears and step into courage, I would say, or step into your inner strength as well. Not only to, I would say, not only to release the fear, but also to move forward, right? And I would say move forward fearlessly, right? And I think this is the kind of a main message for you. But remember, but the warrior woman does represent that sometimes you need to bring more courage. Sometimes you need to bring some maybe stronger aspect of you, right? Also, I feel solar plexus chakra is highlighted here, so maybe a bit of your inner power, but also in a subtle way, right? I kind of somehow I feel also the feminine aspect around you, and it is the warrior woman. And I wanted to say that even if it's a man, even if you are a man watching the video, then you also have the feminine power inside of you. And the solar plexus chakra is actually the masculine aspect, but yeah, I would just say perhaps just dance around it, right? So the message is for both females and males, right? But there's the feminine aspect of perhaps the strength and the power that is highlighted here, right? Yeah, and I think the question they tell me to tell you, so the angels or my guides tell you to say, have you answered your deepest calling yet? I wanted to say, so this is the question for you. Perhaps a question that you may want to do some work with, right? So maybe journal, just write things down, just think about it, right? Yeah, you know what the question is, if you've answered your deepest calling yet. And it can be just for today, for something that you are planning to do, or maybe you are already in the process of doing, right? And also this is like the soul calling, right? So the calling from your soul, from spirit, from your higher self as well, right? Yeah, and I would say it will be worth it. And also it will be worth it if you do some actually inner work with it, right? Some kind of, yeah, so manifestation work comes about also when you do your inner work, right? Right, and it kind of, they go together, let's say hand in hand very well, I wanted to say. So either it's a reminder for many of you, or perhaps just yeah, or maybe you are learning that it's not only that you manifest just with doing something, but also with actually stepping back and perhaps doing a bit of your inner work, right? And journaling sorry journaling comes in quite strongly here. All right, so I've got 3 angel tarot cards, guys, for you here. As obviously present moment energies, and perhaps energies that can continue for some while, like for the next 3 to 6 months, 6 months even. And we'll start with and I've got 3 clarifiers from the energy oracle deck. Okay, and then so we'll start. So you've got the unity card number 5. That's a major arcana, and actually that's the Hierophant card, the Hierophant, sorry, in the traditional tarot. Apologies if I can't speak very well. No, my throat is blocked. Reminder for some of you, we are in Mercury retrograde, so communication, throat chakras, perhaps throat chakra issues may be coming up. I know that in previous piles I was also saying, but I don't always say it. If I know and I remember, I will mention some zodiac signs if they're applicable, and maybe they will have some reference for you or some guidance, right? But I don't always do that, right? So I may just be mentioning, I would say, different things perhaps for reference as well. But this card comes with the Healer of the Ages card. Yes, I feel there's a question, and it can represent Jesus Christ for you, if this is how you see it or how you feel about it, right? And if you relate to it. Yeah, so it's okay. So and that's an ascended master card. But with the unity, so this I think I feel this is more about the hierophant as a traditional meaning, that that you have the inner guru, right, and the inner teacher is inside of you, right. So that's why I said it. So the guru. So and while you have your inner guru inside of you, you may also want to, let's say, cooperate and communicate with, let's say, the outer guru, right. So the teacher that is outside of you. It could be an ascended master. Yeah, as I said, it could be Jesus if you've believed in that, or yeah, or you've been brought up in this kind of faith, right? But it could be any other ascended master. Okay, I actually do feel like Jesus energy, yeah, comes in actually very strongly. Yeah, okay, he's just telling me that I can also speak because I know that I had a problem, even though I was like brought up, let's say, as a Christian, but I did have my journey, and I, for example, went back to yoga and to Hinduism actually to rediscover, let's say, what let's say God, right, or spirit means for me, and how I connect back with spirit. And I went back and I came back to perhaps an understanding of Christianity, right, and understanding Jesus Christ, but from a different perspective. So I think, yeah, I feel like I was guided just to tell you this, and also to trust it, right? So you definitely have an ascended masters around you and with you. You can trust Jesus as well, or you can trust a higher power. Yeah, so it's kind of like a master or teacher who is outside of you, right? And he can, and this person may be an enlightened guru already, right? So I feel like it's more of an enlightened rather than someone who is still walking on the earth. And also, but yeah, but so I think it's so obviously for you guys, and I feel like because there's something about your manifestation and believing in your good luck. I think it's also connected with your inner teacher, your inner guru, you connecting with yourself. And I wanted to say, so obviously this is a spiritual meaning of both of these cards. Um, yeah, so I think just the spiritual meaning is important here, right? And I would also want to say, what does this mean? Like what does it mean that the inner guru is inside of you? So the inner guru is also teaching you, right? And I feel like it's also telling you to, like, the message is also to perhaps try to either, you may want to go back or read some scriptures, or perhaps read some uplifting, apologies guys, Mercury retrograde, I can't pronounce everything very well, uplifting scripts or some uplifting texts, I would say, right? And it can also be by other authors that maybe you may have known, but they kind of, but they perhaps much more spiritual, and they are uplifting, right? So that you can uplift actually your mind, and learn, right? So there's the teacher aspect that is coming here. But I also wanted to say that the inner teacher is teaching you as well, right? So trust yourself and listen to yourself. And also you have obviously ascended master or ascended masters. I feel like there's one ascended master, sorry, that kind of wants to work with you and wants you to kind of notice the presence of that master, right? Yeah, and I think it's just part of your journey, guys, right? And it's interesting because I said part of your journey, and then the next set is a journey card with a four of air. And first of all, what I want to say that you guys, some of you need a break, and some of you need to rest more, right? So you need a rest and you need a break. Maybe you need a holiday. Yeah, you just need time out sometimes, or time off for yourself. And first of all, I wanted to say, so the eclipses can bring very intense energies and difficult energies. Pluto, what comes from Pluto has just gone retrograde. So I'm recording this on the second, no, it's the third, sorry, today, guys, of May. But Pluto went retrograde, sorry, guys, on the 1st of May. And Pluto can be still heavy, even though Pluto now is in Aquarius. But I wanted to say that there may be some heaviness, intense energies. So you are really being reminded to rest more, to take care of yourself, and to take a break as well if you need to take a break from work or anything else, even from social life, right? And I wanted to say that while remember about this, let's say the self-care during the eclipse season, also remember that that's a message for the next 6 months, or that's a message that you need to pay attention to. So you are or your own inner master, and your let's say your own inner mastery does require you to take a break, and remember to take a break, right? And to take care of yourself, right? And you don't have to rush with anything. And I think this card is a beautiful, it's a kind of like a supportive card that remember that life is a journey. Like everything is really a journey, right? It's a process as well. And it's like a step by step. I would say the more you approach it step by step, that the more I think it becomes, I wanted to say, the more it becomes a step by step process, right? So your inner power and your inner guru is inside of you. You can choose if your choice is to approach it this way, it will be step by step. but you are allowed to. I wanted to say you are allowed to, and you are even requested to take a break sometime, or even more often than sometime, right? And don't overwork yourself, right? It's more important about it. And take a vacation or go maybe for a massage. This is also relaxation that is very important. So make sure maybe that you go to bed early whenever you need to, yeah. And perhaps also withdraw with the social life. I think I feel like for some of you that's not so important to be so social all the time, right? And you will manage. You will I feel like you will find your pace with everything, and you will, I wanted to say, you will manage everything just on time, right? Yeah, and this also means that there is always a perfect and divine timing for everything, right? And also everything like results, because I think tigers I can be a lot to do with like manifestations and like physical results that maybe you are waiting or working towards in life. Yeah, but remember that everything does come just as it's supposed to, right? So the divine power is also in there. I looked, okay, I don't know if there is any message. Yeah, just a reminder. Okay, we've talked, I don't know, the message comes in just to help to tell me that the reminder, yeah, you are working also with fears or sometimes blockages. And I think, yeah, well, that's what we've said at the beginning, right? And bringing about your inner strength and inner power. And I wanted to say that actually resting sometimes can help you with that, right? So resting means that you put things on pause, or you say, okay, I trust the universe, that the universe is working for me, but actually I need to take a day out, right? And I actually feel like you will actually release something from within also if you just let go, right? So letting go perhaps as a practice, but in a very simple way, right? Letting go and just maybe allowing things to happen as well. And I think this also brings me to the star. So that's always a very beautiful card to me. But yeah, that just allow things to happen, right? The star card is a lot about allowing, trusting the universe, and then trusting God, spirit, right? The higher power, that everything is happening just as it's supposed to, right? Also having faith. Like while for me, like this card always represents a better times coming, or the fact that there is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And there's something better coming along. But to me, it's always a little bit like you kind of need to wait a little bit for it, right? Or it's just in the works, right? So it's not yet present, and you need to continue perhaps to have hope and have faith that obviously everything is coming about, that things are coming to fruition the way you would have hoped for it, or you would have wanted, right? Yeah. And this is actually also about wish fulfillment in your life, right? And what I mean by wish fulfillment, so I'm coming back to the tiger's eye, that you're trying to manifest or come to some fruition with something, maybe some results, you're waiting for some results, right? Maybe you've started something new in the past. So I wanted to say have hope and faith, and your wishes, right, and your desires will be fulfilled at some stage, right? But I feel like the message is it's not only about one thing, right? It's just like that it's a continuous process, that whatever you are wishing for, whatever you've been working towards, it will come about, it will happen, right? But yeah, and it will be an outcome, but then you will continue the process, right? So remember, the journey is about both a journey but also an outcome, right? So it's kind of like finding balance between the two, I wanted to say. Yeah, so I think having faith and having hope, as I said, and things are coming to light and to fruition, I wanted to say. But there are some unexpected, maybe. The first card that came is the hostilities card. And I feel like there may be some issues that need to be resolved on the way. And I kind of felt, because I felt like that there is a lot of positivity in your spread here in your cards. Even though, okay, they're now telling me, even though it may feel like you are a little bit perhaps in the waiting, or in the waiting room. That's what they're saying. So maybe you are doing the work, maybe you are hoping for a lot of good, I don't know, good results or something like this, or a lot of good to come. Yeah, but I feel like it's definitely in the works, and it's in the making, I wanted to say. And on the but on the way something may come up. So hostilities, perhaps difficulties with other people. Perhaps this could also be difficult emotions. So it could be situations which aren't necessarily, maybe the situations which are transformatory, but situations which are kind of, let's say, they're not maybe very bad, but they bring about difficult emotions within you. Some people, some energies may instigate these emotions, right? Some people are a bit toxic, I would say, or just they are who they are, right? They are just a mirror towards you. So I wanted to say take care of yourself as well, right? And these obstacles will come. I wanted to say these obstacles again Mercury are coming. Yeah, they will be there, right? They will always be there in a way, but I feel like the message for you is just like, just accept them. You have the power and the strength. Also, you are the warrior woman or a warrior man. Yeah, but for a man, I would say just remember that you are a warrior woman too, right? So just try to perhaps step into your feminine aspect of life. So you don't have to be always so forward, right? Sometimes you can just let go, relax, maybe rest, and allow things to happen, right? So that's also kind of a warrior quality, right? The spiritual warrior. But yeah, but what I wanted to say, so something will come about and you will just need to work with it, perhaps resolve it, find new resolution, maybe do some inner work as well. But this comes at the same time with a happy family card. So this is also like a happy group card, right? Like maybe connecting with people who are like-minded, right? Soul tribe. Maybe even connecting with some people in your family who are actually very positive. So I would say on both sides. So if this is a shadow, right, then actually it may be that some people in your family are challenging. Maybe you've been healing from ancestral patterns and things like that. So I would only say continue with your work, right, and perhaps remember that you can overcome it. You've got the star card, and that's always a positive sign that the good, let's say, good times are coming, right, or the good is coming, and the fruition of some sorts, or fruition towards you, let's say your efforts is also on the way, right? Yeah, and just don't be afraid and just continue. But I think with a happy family, because you've got also the Hierophant card at the beginning, and I feel like that in my messages, in other general messages and videos, and you can watch them as well, right? When I do, there are videos with Reiki healing sessions, I think I've mentioned is for you guys, and they have like a general collective guidance as well, which are just all about yeah, just energies and how you can navigate them, right? Yeah, and there's a lot about new groups, so kind of connecting with like-minded people, perhaps new groups, perhaps seeking spiritual groups where you can join them. Perhaps they will give you great ideas. Um, yeah, like for example, Facebook groups, right? They can also be online, virtual. Yeah, or just even smaller. I would say also it doesn't have to be like a big community. It can be just a group of 3-4 people as well, right? And just maybe feel the connection with them, or feel connected and just feel good about it, right? And on one hand, pay attention because there may be issues coming up, and you may need to kind of try to resolve them, right? Or be watchful of that, but at the same time, just have faith and have the positivity in you, right? And connect with positive people so that you can move through all of the, let's say, difficulties more smoothly, I would say. All right. All right. And now, so this will be your reading, and let's just, yeah, we're going to close off soon. This will be, sorry guys, again. This is your last, so yeah, I think this is the card for pile number 3. Yes, freedom. Yeah, so this is just one last card, a card of advice for you guys. Yeah, or about all kind of, I don't know, it always comes like as if someone is asking me if that's an outcome. It can be an outcome, but I don't take it necessarily that it's an outcome that will come. It's just something that you are working towards, right? Freedom, and it says moving on, letting go. So we've talked a little bit about, for example, allowing things to happen, right? Taking a rest, taking a break. Yeah, and freedom. So obviously freedom is in the works for you. So perhaps maybe something that you were waiting for, right? The star card, something that you were trying to manifest. And I feel like it's also a process or a bigger like project for you, like perhaps manifesting a new business, or manifesting maybe a new family actually, or maybe manifesting a new friendship, like friend groups, I would say, right? Yeah, and it seems like it's all about freedom for you guys, right? So perhaps you are freeing yourself from old, so like you see we've got the cage and the bird, but the cage is open and the bird is already flying out of the cage, right? So I would say you've perhaps been working a lot, maybe you've been releasing a lot, and I wanted to say that the release will come also and through the eclipse season. Eclipse will always come about with some change in our lives. Yeah, and you will be able to perhaps set yourself free from something if this is what, let's say, what is right for you, if this is what you need or desire, right, in life. So you will be able to set yourself free. Yeah, and just have it. If it's your value to be free and you want to live it by it, then freedom is all that there is for you as well, right? And you are a star as well, right? So you'll be able to manifest anything you want, and again, free yourself perhaps maybe from these subconscious patterns or hostile people in your life as well. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, pile card 3. Beautiful people, thank you for watching the video. I hope you find it useful and helpful. Yeah, and I hope to hit, yeah, I usually say hit the subscribe, sorry, button or like button. Yeah, you will just, it will show other people that it's something valuable in here. And yeah, and I hope to see you on my future videos. Take care of yourselves. Bye.